What up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Jaywalks, number 8. Me and my wife are out walking the trails right now at Close Springs Greenway. Springs Close Greenway. Let me get that right. But one of the things that we like to do, and I wanted to bring this topic up while I have it on my mind, we got the weighted vest on. Is we like to do a little bit of foraging while we're out here. And what we usually forage for, I think I found another one right here, is mushrooms. Literally, like, as I'm walking, I don't know what that is. But we like to forage for mushrooms. We've come across, I don't know, probably, how many you think?
What?
Mushrooms have we come across?
Today?
Just in general. I don't know, between 50 and 100 different species since we've started. Like, easily we've come across. That doesn't mean that we've eaten that many, but we've come across that many. And I found an app called Picture Mushroom that's really good with identifying them. I do a few different tests before we consume any that we get. That one's the first one. Is before we even bring it home with us, I'll go through that app and do a scan of it. It takes pictures and it kind of gives you a really good example of what they are. It tells you the habitat they grow in, what they smell like, what they may taste like, depending on what stage of life they are. It tells you just a whole breakdown of what they look like in different stages and all kinds of stuff. And it keeps a record of all the ones that you've picked and took pictures of. But if you're ever out doing this kind of stuff, make sure you use an app like that or have some kind of knowledge, because otherwise some of these things can be very deadly. Like, a lot of them won't kill you right off the bat, but they'll get you really sick. Some of them can be really toxic. So it's best to get a little bit of knowledge before you go picking anything. And I mean, that's really with anything you do. You just don't want to jump into something head first. But we've been pretty lucky. We live in South Carolina, and there's numerous species of mushrooms down here. The two really cool ones that we've found so far are chicken of the woods and hen of the woods. They are different. Chicken of the woods, it's kind of hard to explain. It doesn't have very much of a taste, but it takes on the taste of whatever it is that you're cooking. So like the first time we got it, we got really lucky with our haul. I posted a picture on Instagram. Speaking of which, go follow me at one man 1 year 150. But I posted a picture of it on Instagram, and not even joking, I had to use my shirt and lay it out and put all the mushrooms in there, because it ended up being probably 10 pounds of mushrooms. They are a polypore species, and basically what that means is if you look underneath, it doesn't have gills. Instead, it looks more solid with a bunch of holes. But pretty much they take on the flavor of whatever kind of sauce you're cooking them in. But they call it chicken of the woods because it has the same exact texture as chicken. It's kind of crazy. When we first got it, I was like, dude, this is weird. And we cooked it, and I made like a, vegan chicken stir fry with it. Turned out really good. And then we got lucky with the hen of the woods, and they had, I can't even really describe the flavor. I know some people say like umami, but I don't know. It was just more of, they had a chewy kind of texture, not in a bad way, but they were really tasty. And when we got those ones, we probably got a good like 5 pounds at least of those. It was enough to fill 2 of those big, like 1-gallon Ziploc bags. So we put them in the freezer and kind of went through those. But it was pretty cool being able to pick this stuff and kind of just have, not only food that was free, but it was, like, we got it from nature. Completely vegan, obviously. It's a mushroom. But more cool stuff you can do with it. But again, and they're both completely safe to consume. But again, like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, it's not suggested for you to just jump into it. We had to do a bunch of research first before I went ahead and started picking anything. What's that?
You had a book too.
Yeah, I have a book on all this. We also did a bunch of testing, like I used the app, but also the first time we really did it, and we got a big, like, bag full. Oh, that was a cool looking one. Got a big bag full of mushrooms. I made sure to do not only the test with the app, but also did what's called a spore print test. It's where you lay out like either some kind of like white paper or tin foil or something. I used tin foil, and you leave all the caps on there for like 8 hours. You can leave, what I did was I just left it overnight, and when you come down the next day, you can look and you see the ring and the color of the ring that it left as another way to identify what it is. So first time we did it, we got really lucky, and we got tons of different kinds that we ate. Some have more unique flavors than others, but again, you want to be careful. When we got the chicken of the woods and the hen of the woods, they're really easy to identify. Chicken of the woods is like super easy to identify. It's almost impossible to really like mess that one up, because there's nothing really that looks like it. It's a unique, very unique look. But again, make sure you're careful. But that's one of the things we like to do while we're out hiking. The other thing we were doing is, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, last weekend, these trails that we hike, we found a bunch of wild blackberries, and ended up going home with like half of a sandwich bag filled with them. There was a nice chunk. Like, if you were to take what we found and package it and bring it to a store and put it on the shelf at like Walmart, probably like a good $10 worth at least of blackberries that we picked right off of bushes. Now again, you want to be careful. Not every berry you find you can eat. A lot of those are also very toxic, but She has an app that's just like my mushroom one that helps you identify plants. But blackberries are ones that are kind of easy to really identify. You can tell by what they look like before they get ripe, when they're ripe. You can identify the leaves, like the structure of the leaves, really easily. So while we're out like this, it also helps us kind of take our mind off of how much we've done, like hiking wise, because it can get tiring. Like right now I have on a 30-pound vest, and we're 3.5 miles into our hike, and these are a lot of hills. Like, that's why I'm, a little out of breath at times, because we're going up hills here. But that's the cool thing about where we're at, is there's tons of miles. I think it's like 2,100 acres in total. But doing this kind of stuff kind of takes our minds off of how much we've done. Honestly, I didn't even know that we did 3.5 miles until I looked at my watch just now, because I have my mind being taken off of it by doing this. But up until that point, we came across a couple of mushrooms that we were trying to identify. One of them was highly toxic, so we just don't bring that with us. But it made me think, why not make a video about it? Because I know that part of the problem with some people is that the hard part is staying dedicated and keeping yourself moving. And stuff like this can keep you going, because once you do finally come across something that is like edible, or that you can forage and bring home, it kind of like pushes you and makes you want to keep going, so that you can find the next one, and then the next one, and then before you know it, you got a big bag of this stuff. And it's a big bag of stuff that you got for free. The only thing it cost you was moving your feet, and moving your legs. But that keeps me moving all day. Things like this. And it's a multi-tiered process, like building blocks, steps to keep me getting steps, like small things to keep me motivated and keep moving. Like, now to someone out there, they may be like, all right, well, he likes to go pick mushrooms. Great, wonderful. He picks berries. Well, whatever. That's not going to keep me moving. But the thing is, you need to find what's going to keep you moving. I can't determine that for you. But what I can do is give you tips and advice on what's kept me going. Like right now, my wife is losing weight because we're doing this stuff together, and it's helping me maintain my current weight because I'm staying active like this every day. This morning we went out, and we have a Father's Day 5K coming up, so we went out to the course that we're going to be doing that with, and ran some of that this morning. And I didn't want that to be the only thing I did today. So we came out here doing a little bit of a hike. I'm at, we're over 3 miles, getting closer and closer to 4. But stuff like this is what's help to keep it off. And like I've said before, if I can help provide tips and advice on what may help you keep it off, I'll do it. I'm glad that there is a few people that have watched these videos, commented, liked, and are using some of the tips to help them get in the right direction. But I'll wrap it up here. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit like. If you think I'm worth the time, go ahead and subscribe, because there's more coming down the pike. This is what, 8? I think this is 8 for the jaywalking series. And stay tuned for the next one. I'll go ahead and get this up as soon as I can. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at oneman1year150. Follow me on Strava, Jason Gardner, hashtag oneman1year150. And until the next one, y'all, I'm out.